Hey guys, well, another video, another week, another all the good stuff and whatnot. Got a lot to talk to you about this week, and we're just gonna jump right on in. So we'll start with my weight loss for the week. Started off kind of strange, kind of a little freakish. I lost a lot of weight this weekend, and then I kind of gained it all back. And yesterday I was like, only had lost 1 pound. And I'm like, okay, that's what you get for waiting on the scale every day. I'm like, just keep doing what you're doing. Maybe you're constipated. Maybe you just had a lot of water. Maybe the scale's just giving you the middle finger. Who knows? Um, so today I got on the scale, and hallelujah, it's what I thought it would be. So I'm down to 261, and that is a 4 pound loss for the week and a 209 pound loss since basically this time last year. So, Yahoo! Running wise, working out, I've had a better week than last week. I'll tell you that. Done multiple runs. By the way, for some of you guys on Facebook, I'm not really posting all of my runs on Facebook. I'm going to post one here and there, mainly because it just doesn't I mean, it's just not that big of a deal. So, but also it requires me coming up to the third floor, loading it all up, then posting it, and going back. It's just crazy. But so this weekend I was home alone, and so I was like, okay, well I'll do a bunch of workouts and everything. Friday night I made the decision instead of working out after my small group, I would veg out. So don't worry. I actually did pretty good. I did pretty good. I wanted all these bad things, but my mindset has changed in the way where I allow the tool to do a little bit more thinking for me, and so I made a little bit better decisions. I stayed away from the sweets. I ended up getting something called Veggie Thins, which they're actually relatively low in carbs, not like a regular cracker. They taste pretty good, and it's like 90 calories for 21 crackers, which 21 crackers is a lot of crackers. And then instead of using a dip, I actually used the Laughing Cow Light French onion cheese, and haha, so it was great, and I knew once I was done with that little triangle that I had to limit myself to at least 12. And no, I was joking. I'm just joking. So yeah, it worked out pretty well for me, and I wanted to pop really bad, and so I got a Diet Pepsi, and that was hilarious because I got one of the bottles, and I think I drank it just below the label, from the top to the label. Just the carbonation in beer does not bother me at all, but the carbonation in pop was like, it was just nuts. So I got my taste, and I was like, screw you, I'm done with you. The next day, I basically woke up in the morning and said, I'm going to take a long stinking run. I was like, maybe I'll do 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever miles. And I was going to run on the Prairie Path, which the Prairie Path, for those of you guys that don't know what that is because you're not from the Chicago area, it's basically a path that goes the length of the suburbs. I think it goes pretty far toward the city. And then it really branches out after my town. When you go west, it just goes in 100 different directions. But it's good for biking. It's about the width of a road, like one car could drive down it. And it's made out of crushed gravel. Except when you get in the city, then it becomes asphalt, which I actually like asphalt below this crushed gravel stuff because one, it just like all those little pebbles in my shoe. But I woke up, I just started drinking crap loads of fluids, everything that I could that would benefit me in my run. My breakfast was a very healthy breakfast, and actually for lunch, since I knew I was going to go about an hour after lunch, I just had a Cliff Bar, which Cliff Bars aren't great for you. They're like 240 calories, and but they've got like caffeine and protein and carbs and tons of sugars and all that. But I knew if I had it, and I ran in the right amount of time, the sugars wouldn't fast absorb, and so I wouldn't dump. I do dump off of energy stuff if I don't burn it right away. So I knew I was going in enough of time that would be burnt. So I got a fuel belt and loaded up my fuel belt with like a ton. I think I had what? Oh, is this 32, 20, it's 50, about, yeah, about 58 uh, with the different size bottles and stuff like that. About 58 ounces of liquid on me. Two of those had G2 in it. I took off. Did fine till about 7.5 miles, and then I had a spasm in the back of my calf that went down my Achilles, and it actually caused my foot. I couldn't feel it, but it caused my foot to go like this, to go like that, and like my toes, even my heel, kind of wrapped up. And my dad actually says it's really like he saw it a lot in the military with guys that just had went too far, pushed themselves too hard. They called it a bird's claw foot. So because like it looks like a claw, like they're holding a branch or whatever. And so I like fell and wiped out. So I had to walk for a mile, and then it went away. Finally loosened up and went away. And I tried to run again, and it happened again. So I just had to walk the rest of the way home. I still say I went 10 miles because I did go 10 miles. I went 5 miles out and I had 5 miles back, and it just so happened the last 2.5 miles I had to walk because I was crippled. So didn't stop me though. I got right back out the next day, ran a little run the next day, like a 5K or something like that, and then I've just been running ever since. Yesterday I went to the gym. I actually don't go to the gym a whole lot just because I've been running outside and doing so much other stuff. But I knew I needed to start getting in the pattern, and my daughter started school this week, and so right when I pick her up, it's like right before I pick her up, my youngest she wakes up for feeding, and so I give her whatever I'm feeding her that day, and then she only eats once a day. Okay, so but I feed her and I take her, and then I put her in the car seat, take her, go pick up my daughter. Well, it's easy if I'm just ready just to go straight to the gym. I put them in the babysitting and go work out. And I wasn't going to. I'd had so many issues trying to calibrate my foot pod so I could work out inside that I was tired. Like I ended up, you're only supposed to have to run 800 meters, and then there would be an error, so I'd have to run another 800 meters. So I ended up running like a mile and a half just to calibrate this thing around my house, just in circles. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pooped. So I was like, I'm not gonna go work out. Well, as soon as I showed up, my daughter's like, I told everybody we're going to the babysitting and all that, and I'm like, okay. So I went home, just grabbed a couple things real quick that I hadn't brought with me, and then took them, and I busted my tail off. I did 4 mile, or almost 4 miles, 3.85 miles on the treadmill. And there's this thing called a Woodman. I think it's a Woodman or a Woodway treadmill. I don't know. It's like shock absorption, like to the max. Like, it was so nice to run on. Like I enjoyed running on it. Like I was like, oh, I can just go a little bit further. Oh, how about how about this? Like a little further. So I just like had so much fun on it. And so I did 3.85 on that, and then I got off and I immediately jumped onto the spin cycle, and I did I think 7 miles on the spin cycle. And if you're like, what setting? I don't know. I just pushed hill workout and just tried to keep up with the machine. So it took me about 25 minutes to do that. So, and then I did circuit training, which, if you guys don't know what circuit training is, it's basically you pick out like 3 or 4 machines that you're going to do with whatever you're working on, upper, lowers, whatever, and you just hit that machine, you do your weights, and then you get up and you immediately go to the other machine and you just start doing your weights, and you just kind of cycle between these machines until you get all your reps in on every machine, and you never rest. That way you're always keeping your heart rate up. You're burning a ton of fat and calories and everything else. So I did that for like 45 minutes. I only was going to do it for a half an hour, but I had machines I wanted to do. So I had things I wanted to do. And, if you got things you want to do, you got to do them. So I think that really helped me out. So the final thing well, no, I got two things I want to talk about. The big news is my wife just informed me last night. My wife and I had actually talked about her having weight loss surgery a while ago, and I just kind of was like, well, you have to pray through it. You have to make the decision. I'm going to stay on you because I want to make sure that you're doing something for yourself. But if you're not going to do this, then you have to let me know what you're going to do. And I'm going to help you do that because it's not okay for you not to get healthy too. And so mainly because it just brings her down that she's not healthy. So not because I'm a hardcore husband. It's like, you gotta be like me. So she said, well, I just want to let you know I've been praying and thinking and everything. And then after I talked with her friend, she's like, she just really encouraged me to go ahead and do it and not to wait and everything else. So it's been tough for her because she wants to have more children, and she's like, I don't want to lose all this weight and then gain it and all that. Like, but her mindset's so twisted right now with weight. It's like everything's impossible, and so I think once she sees that everything is possible, and she sees that she can do something like this, then I think it's going to break through. So she's going to start the process. In fact, she's on it. She texted me and was like, I just called the insurance company, blah 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 blah. So she's moving forward with it. So hallelujah. Maybe by February she'll have surgery herself. She is going to have gastric bypass. We've really hammered out what the whole thing, and I think it kind of came down to us as if she has gastric bypass and I had gastric bypass, then it will just help us make gastric bypass like decisions together. So that's good. One more thing, real quick. I want to say thanks for the response from the last video. My wife and I probably are going to go to the meet and greet. We just have to kind of put the financial stuff together and everything. Um, we talked with someone who really encouraged us to go and kind of assured us that there won't be issues. And so after that talk, it was like, okay. So we probably will be going to meet and greet, and we're going to try to just move things forward with that. Last thing. I have an idea. So I took seriously some of the things from the whole, people bullying me, whatever stuff. And I actually took it to heart because one of the things that I would teach my leaders, and it was taught to me when I was in leadership, was you always take criticism seriously, even though it might be totally off the wall. Um, and take it to God, think it over, and then what could I do better? And so one of the things I realized is, hey, maybe there is a possibility that people look at what I do as just telling them what to do and just putting my ideas out there and stuff like that. And why that's okay because it's YouTube and it's my channel, I do think that there could be ways that I could help more by not really just being the know-it-all guy, or putting myself out there like I am, which I don't think I do, but some people think I do. So here's what I'm going to do. I am committing through November, from this Sunday through November. I'm going to put a video out every weekend, and this is what it's going to be. It's going to be like the weight loss surgery question of the week. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, like, what do you guys think about this? What did your surgeons tell you about this? And then I'll share what my surgeon told me, or my bariatric nutritionist told me. And then what I want you guys to do is respond with what yours told you. That way people can come and they can kind of look down and say, oh, okay, yeah. Well, it seems like the majority of people are saying this, or majority of people are saying that. And then what I'll do is either on my regular vlog, which is this, or on the next one I make, I'll look through it all and I'll say, well, this seems to be the majority of what people are saying that's suggested out there. I'm not saying that this is what you should do, but this seems to be the majority of what people are told. So that maybe you can be like, okay, because I think that there are surgeons and there are bariatric centers that really help you a lot. And then it sounds like, to me, like there are ones that are out there that are like, eh. So I will accept video responses. In fact, I encourage video responses. Now, here's how we do video responses. A lot of people don't necessarily do them right, and so let's do them right, because I want people to see them, not just your subscribers to see them. But what you do is you make the video, and then you go to the page where I posted my video. Not my channel, but the actual page that you can see all the comments and everything. And you'll see under there it says post a video response. And what you can do is you will hit that and it will send me an email that says so-and-so wants to post a video response. And you can just say, response to weight loss surgery question number 1 or whatever. And you can put what just exactly the same thing. Put what your surgeon said and there you go. We don't have to make them, I don't want to be too opinionated or anything like that. You can put what you've learned. I mean, you could say whatever you want to say. I would prefer that if you're going to just type, that you keep it in one line. Only because it gets confusing, because if you post something and someone else posts something, then yours are separated, and it's just like, so if you part one, part two, all that kind of stuff. So I think you got 180 characters or something like that. Keep it not 180 characters, whatever your doctor told you. Also, no arguing. You know, if you completely disagree with somebody who is like, well, my surgeon told me that I didn't need to worry about proteins and all this kind of stuff, like, and you just, yeah, this isn't the forum for that. And I'll take those responses down. If you're attacking someone else or anything like that, I'll take those down. So I'm going to post them because I've got some questions, because there's some things that even I've been like, oh, I never knew that that was bad. Somebody said that was bad. Well, it's bad. Okay. So I'm going to put that out there, and I don't want it just to be for RN wires. I want it to be for lap banders, VSG, you know, whatever. And what we'll do is you guys can actually email me or message me questions that you have. So if any of you newbies out there are like, well, I want to know what to do about this or this or this, I'll post those questions. Like, in fact, and here's my commitment. I will do it every weekend, either Saturday or Sunday. It will be a very short video, maybe a 3 or 4 minute video. I'll go over the rules real quick after I say the question, just to remind everybody. But if I get so many questions and so many responses, I don't have a problem with doing 2 or 3 of these a week. They won't take. There'll be one take on my camera, so I won't have to do much editing, and I can just go boom boom, upload it, and it's out there. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let me know what you think about that before I even make the first one this weekend. Just let me know what you think about that. I just really think that this could really help out a lot of newbies, but also a lot of oldies too. Like, you know, even I mean, I'm not an oldie because I'm not even a year out yet. I'm almost a year out, but there's still things I'm learning from other people. And so I already had the first question, and like I said, I'll post it this weekend, and it'll just kind of be a little tester. So it'll be something where you can just post in and go boop boop boop, type in your response, send it out there, and then people can always, I'll tag it in a way that people can find it, see it, respond to it, or even pass it on. And like, you know, that's something that you can put on your Facebook page or whatever, like, hey, answer this question so people can know and stuff like that. And it's not for my popularity, it's so that I can be responsible and maybe helping some new people, or even helping, like I said, old people that are like, I wonder about this or this, so that we're not just putting our ideas and our thoughts out there, but more of what are our surgeons saying, what are our nutritionists saying, what have we learned, and stuff like that. And as long as it's put in the right format, I don't have a problem with it. So, love you guys. I hope that's a good idea. Let me know if that's a good idea, and if you guys would want to do something like that, and then we'll just move forward from there. All right.